Hey guys, this is Udit. Today we will be learning three important concepts in CSS, which is units, colors, and typography. So units. So there are basically two types of units: absolute units and relative units. So when we talk about absolute units, so those units, so whose fixed size units that don't change based on their elements. So uh, the size of these particular units are fixed, and it is fixed by standards. Like fixed by standard means it is fixed by the people who created CSS, people who are designing the discuss international standards. So they are fixed actually, so they don't change, or they are not you know configurable by the people who are writing code like us. So it is by the people who have maintaining CSS and all those things. So pixels is basically 1/96 of an inch. So width is 200 pixels. So it is like this. And point is 12 points. It is 172, but it is rarely used. 12 pt. So 1/72 of an inch. And physical measurement is width is with cm, mm, in, so centimeter, millimeter, inch. It is not used. Mostly width also we use pixels only. So keep in mind, for absolute units there is only one thing, which is pixels. Other things, if you find, you should understand the meaning of these things only, that's it. But for using, it is only pixels. Relative units is basically units which are relative to another value, making them flexible and responsible. So relative units are units which are decided by the user of, or creator of that particular application, and they are based on absolute units. Like suppose relative unit to font size of an element. If font size is 16 pixels or 2 em, you leave 32. So this is em is one relative. Em is an example of a relative unit and related to the font size of the element. If font size is so basically em is the one which is directly proportional to its parents. So suppose there is a p, and inside suppose there is a section, and inside a section there is a p. So if the parent one is 16 pixels, so it will 16 pixels, so 1.5 rem will be like based on that. So but base is 16 pixels. Base means if there is not given anything, then it is 16, but em takes its font size from its parents. Rem is also related to the root element font size, more predictable than em. So it is mostly used, all of them are used, but rem is preferred, and it is for the root element. Like suppose for the root of the HTML you gave certain things, then all the other will follow this thing. So margin is 2 rem, so it is like that. If root is 16 pixel, then one rem is 16 pixel everywhere, but this is dependent on its parents em. And percentage is like percentage is like the total width is 50%, so this is also 50%, and these are basically used mostly. So it is told to mostly use relative units, because using these only you will be able to get a responsive layout. Responsive layout means, suppose we someone opens it into a small screen, so it should be like that. So it is like that. So there is VW and VH also. So viewport, VW means VW means view height, and VH means view. VW means view width, and VH means view height. So how much you are seeing, how much you are view height, view whatever we are viewing, what is the height of your screen. So it is like that. So view width and view height. This is also a relative unit related to the viewport. One viewport is 1% of the viewport width. So one VW, you say it is 1% of the viewport. So it is also a very good thing to use, and it is used a lot. Viewmin, Viewmax is also there. CH is also there, useful for check text container. So it's like that. So this is about the relative units. And now let's go and discuss. Let's go through the notes. I think it is also the same colors. Yeah, colored format. So there are 147 defined colors in CSS. Red background, border color, all we can change. Hexadecimal is like most common format like this. Our shorthand is RGB. So it's like color is like this. So this is RRGGG, RRRGGB format, and the shorthand is RGB. So we can use it like this, or we can use it like this as well. So both have the same meaning. So RGB stands for red, green and blue. So how much? So all the colors mostly are made up of red, green and blue. So if you want red, how much red it is in there, how much green it is there, how much blue. So these are primary colors. So that is the reason. We can use hex as well. So background is this thing, the format is this thing. So we can give the color names also. We can use hexadecimals also. So this is basically name when you are giving color name. So this is one way of writing CSS with color names using hexadecimal, which is using RGB, how much red is there, how much green is there, how much blue is there. This is the second way and of writing a CSS. And if you find and you consider that 66 is for red, 7E for green and EA for blue. So it's like this. Mostly we prefer hexadecimal way of writing colors. RGB red, green, blue, we can use this method also of writing a color rather than hexadecimal. And there is also rgba, which gives an alpha channel, which is an opacity, how much opaque it is and transparent it is. That is also we can use RGB and RGBA. So all you can try and understand how it works, and in the code also I can show like how to use it. So this is the code for this particular website. Yeah, so this particular website, this particular code is there. So color is like this. So this is how we write color demo. So this is for an RGB, how to write in an RGB style. So style, you can see background is written into RGB style. When we go below it, it is written into like this. It is this one is written into hex and hexadecimal, and below it is written in RGB and RGBA. This is for opacity. How it works is that we can go and see the website, the color demo. Color demo is there and other things are there. So named colors red, green, blue. Here we have used hexadecimal for coloring. Here we have used RGB method of coloring. So you can see how it is used. Code also I showed you one more time, you can see. Yeah. There is other method of coloring which is called HSL. It is also used, which is called hue, saturation and lightness. So color of HSL is like we can give the color and it will be like this. 230, 75, 60%, 280, 40. This is asked often in interviews. HSLA, A is for again for it gives opacity. HSL, remember, it stands for hue, saturation and lightness because it is used everywhere and asked everywhere in all the interviews. So this is how it is. Now coming to typography. Typography is like let's go to the website and see typography first. What is it? So this is transparent, fully transparent color. So background is transparent. Use current color only. So it is like that border color is current color. Inherit means it will inherit from its parent. So these properties are for color. So if you see these properties, you should understand that it is for inheriting a color from parent. These I haven't seen much, but these I have seen often, which is like you will see inheriting the properties from parent. Use HSL for easier color manipulation. Use RGB HSLA when you need transparency. Hex is the most common for solid color. So there is called font family. Font family specifies the typeface, also include the fallback, Arial, sans serif, etc. Font size is there, which gives the size. So font family defines like what will be what is the handwriting of this text. So right in the MS Word when you go, so this is called font family. So you can change the font family. Similarly in CSS we give the property font family for these things. And this one will be the primary. If it is doesn't there, so it will take the secondary, the second one. So it's like that. It follows from right to left. Left to right. Font size is the size of text. So in the Word we go and see there. This is the font size. Font weight is how bold it is. So we can give font weight as bold also, and we can give 600 also. But to maintain consistency, so when we create a real application, we will see like we will define these things in a file, and then we will use that into everywhere. So rather than mentioning 700, so that we maintain a consistency in our website. Font style is italic and bold, so we can mention that as well. Line height is the height of line. Letter spacing is difference between the letter. So line height is space between the lines actually. So between two lines, how much space is there? Letter spacing is space between characters. So this is wide spacing. Text align center. So in a div you can use text align into a container. When whatever text is there, it will be aligned. So if you use somewhere else it won't be working, but into a div or into a container, into a section, when you do it, text align center, everything will be centered. Text decoration underline. So it will basically underline is I haven't there is a tag also in HTML I guess for underlining it, but this is the ideal way to do it using in CSS because it's a kind of styling. Text transform is for transforming the text into uppercase, lowercase. That is a form of styling. We can do that using text transform. This is basically the font families. We can discuss it everywhere. These sheet you will find it in my Udemy course, guys. And the Udemy course, my Udemy course is actually live on HTML. For HTML it is there on Udemy. Please kindly go and watch it if you like it. And I will soon create a course for this one as well. Thanks.